Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FortressCraft Evolved. I'm AxionEvolved, and today we are going to continue. Getting our Mega Factory online. Last episode we kind of just did the basics. For those of you that may not have seen this, here's our nice little site over here. We got some basic stuff set up. We've got, I think this is, tin. So we got tin over here, copper over here. All right, we got a little copper extractor going on way down there. So before I get started though, do me a favor real quick. Scroll down ever so slightly, look for that subscribe button, help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers, and if it's red, click it and make it gray. Really helps me out, helps the channel grow, and more importantly, helps me get to that 1,000 subscriber milestone that I'm aiming for by the end of 22. So with that out of the way, let's kind of look at what else has been happening and what we're gonna do this episode. So for those of you that have never played this game, it's basically all about incremental upgrades, right? So you're always kind of building a machine to build the next bigger and better thing that'll help you be more efficient overall. So that's kind of what I got going on over here. So I kind of spent some time, and you can see we've got some plates or stamper plants that make plates out of the various metals. We have some wire extruders over here, which just make wires of the same thing. And then over here, what even is this? Oh, this is, okay. So this is a stamper that takes tin plates, and then that makes lightweight machine housing. Lightweight machine housings are a very common thing that we're going to need just an absolute ton of throughout the whole game. Like, we're always going to need it. So getting this automated long term is going to be kind of important. And then over here we've got, it looks like a coiler plant and then a PCB assembler. So those all help me build lots of things. And then over here we've got conveyor belt crafter. So this basically just takes copper, tin, copper. It makes these slow guys, these basic conveyor belts here. This takes tin plates, which I can kind of fill up now, and this makes copper wire, and all those combine to make the normal belts. These guys right here, normal conveyor belts, normal speeds. These ones, you can see I've kind of got them set up here. And we're going to need a ton of these, at least in the early game, to get, transport everything, right? Eventually, we'll get tubes and stuff and matter movers that'll let us kind of move things a little bit faster. But for now, obviously, we're going to need to tube everything up. So that's kind of not all that I did. There's a little bit else. You can kind of see this guy right here, which leads out to there, which leads out to there. Essentially, that's iron. I found some iron. It's way down. So one of the things I actually want to do this episode is maybe make like a lift, some kind of lift system that will, what is that? Interesting. But basically make a lift system that'll kind of get us into, like, be able to get up and down there pretty easily. Is that here? Yeah, lift. Looks like we need some tin plates, some iron gears. That's going to kind of suck. Lift compressor. Ooh. Okay, so we can use this. We need this too. Iron gears. I don't know if we can make those. Yeah, so if we kind of hand bring up iron, we can kind of make that stuff. But that is actually not all that I've been doing. I have been making something very, very important. And now it's only a stopgap for the future. But as you guys notice, we have one smelter. One smelter in the whole factory, I guess we're going to call it, right? So this is a late game smelter. This is a smelter you can put a forced induction on and you can use for the entire game. But unfortunately, we can't build those, right? We can, however, build basic ore smelters. You can see I already have 3 in my inventory because, you can see I needed a PCB, I need a lightweight machine housing, but organic rock is kind of like the bottleneck for this stage of the game. But there are a couple ways to get organic rock. Number one, you find a hole or you find a cave and you just go down and kind of hope you get lucky. That is kind of hit or miss. There's no real, I guess, guaranteed spot to find it all at, right? So, you can kind of just find something like this and just go down and hope for the best. Another way you can do it Eventually, our CPH here is going to get attacked. We're going to have bugs fly at it that are going to try to destroy this thing. Now, in this playthrough, I have those enemies set to trivial, so they'll be incredibly easy to kill, because I'm not really trying to crank up the difficulty and, you know, really fight bugs. I'm trying to make a huge factory that produces everything that I need in the game. So one of the things that happens is, you can see we have all these mountains and all this terrain kind of around everywhere. Well, the bugs need a path to get to your CPH. So if there's ever a mountain, like here, you can see that there's kind of like a big hole through the mountain, right? So what the spawners in the corners will do, and there's four overmines in every, or one in every corner, so 4 total. In the not the cardinal direction, so like not directly north, south, east, west, but in the, you know, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, you know, all the corners, they'll release what are called tunnel nukers. And what those do is they simply fly through the mountains, and in fact, there's one right there. They just fly through and try to encounter everything in the way and just blow up. So that's literally, they just make a path so that later on the bugs can find a way to get through. And it makes this resin, which makes you run a lot slower. However, that's also a blessing in disguise, because if we kind of go this way a little bit, you're going to notice this funny looking rock right here. You see that tunnel nuker that just kind of exploded right there? But you're going to see this funny little rock right here. This is organic rock. That's what you need. So this is a pretty easy way to get the organic rock. And you can see there's tons of it out here. Now, as you kind of get closer to the back here, to the corner where the spawner is, you're gonna, they got worms that kind of come out and shoot acid and stuff at you. So you got to be a little bit careful about where you step. But this is a very, very easy way to get a ton of organic rock without really having to go too far out of the way. And this will let you build, you know, however many smelters you need. The organic rock I have, I actually just happened to find while I was going down and searching for iron. So I just happened to come across it. You can see the overmind right there. And you see the tunnel nuker right there. It's kind of loud. Kind of loud, huh? I don't know if those things can hurt me, actually. Very slow. Anyway, I'm going to just grab this since I'm here, because I do need to make some basic smelters so that we can kind of automate the process for the smelting of the ores, right? And I'm very worried that one of those worms is going to come up and attack me. But I don't hear it, so I think we're going to be okay. But you can see, this is just one corner. Ooh, tin. This is just one corner, and there's so much organic rock. Oh, there it is. See? If we weren't on trivial mobs, that would have done a lot more damage. I guess it's still doing quite a bit of damage. But you can do this on all 4 corners and get plenty of organic rock. So with that out of the way, let's kind of head back to the base and game plan. So now, one of the things we need to do is figure out where I'm going to put the factory. I had kind of thought, and I've kind of planned on opening it up over here and kind of just using whatever I need in any direction. I wanted to make it as much like in the mountain as possible. I don't know how realistic that is, because you can see we have very uneven terrain, and I'm a little worried about tunnel nukers over in this direction breaking into the factory. So what I might do is actually only come over so far, maybe about here or something, and we can go back all the way, no problem, and we can go over to the right, no problem. But everything else we're gonna have to kind of be wary of, just because I don't want to worry about the corner of the factory kind of getting messed up. And we got to also think, so luckily the 0 meter level that I'm working on is above, kind of above ground here. So I could potentially hollow out or use this under area to transfer all of the materials, like all of the smelted bars and stuff from the smelting area when we get that all set up, which I'm still undecided, but I almost like the idea of having it maybe just like right over here, because I want to have like a resin farm or a couple resin farms on one side and kind of like a quarry. Although I guess I could do quarries kind of all over the place, feeding into the smelting area. So maybe that's not a huge deal, but that's kind of really far down the road. So, I'm still a little undecided about how I want to do this. However, before we can even think about doing that, we need to start processing materials. And one of the things that's kind of holding us back, like I said, is this whole smelting process, right? So, in fact, we need a hand feed this stuff right here. So I do have those basic smelters, and now it's kind of just a matter of where am I going to put the smelters so that they get power, because you'll notice we're kind of getting all our power from the CPH, and that's not going to be any different right now. And as far as I know, the CPH has plenty of power, and we can't really build, if we look here, we can't really build more power storage blocks because we need lithium. And we can't build better lasers because we also need lithium and iron, which we don't have. But we can go grab iron by hand to bring it up. So we're kind of stuck. Now, I do have... Oh, I do have a couple diamonds, which I can make some diamond focusing lenses, which I think this is using. And this can get us 16 power per second. In fact, what I may do... I may actually just do something like this, right? I might throw a battery here. And then do that, right? And slap a lens on there. Now, my plan is to put a smelter right here. A basic smelter. I have one on a hot bar. Somewhere? Yeah. So if I do that, and then do I have any hoppers? What do I need to make hoppers? Let's see. 100 slot storage hoppers. Iron gears. Do I need that for the regular ones too? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's not exciting. So what I want to do... I don't have any hoppers, do I? Basically, what I want to do... Well, I guess I can use 10 slots just for the sake of doing something. I can do this, remove only, this, add only. Now, this is very inefficient. Whereas this hopper, or this smelter, I think takes 4 bars at a time. This one takes 8. So what's going to happen is I'm going to set up something with these belts to feed this, like so, right? And then all of the ore that comes out will just feed right into there. And I'll just have to come collect this very often. And then I'll kind of set up the same thing over here. Maybe even literally right here. Yeah, I'll put another diamond lens on there. And put the other basic smelter maybe here. And then have it the material come up, smelt, and then output. And then what I'll have to do is go down and hand feed iron into here until I can get enough iron bars where I can then make iron gears, which will then let me make bigger hoppers, which means I won't have to hand feed it nearly as often. So that's kind of the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and get this hooked up, that hooked up, and then I'll bring you guys back and we'll kind of go look at grabbing the iron and see how that's all set up. All right, so I got these plumbed up, so to speak. And what you'll notice immediately is the power draw. So these things take a bit of power to get up to full temperature. But once they're at temperature, they use a lot less power, right? So the key is to make sure that I have these kind of constantly emptied. Right? You see this is heating up and it's drawing so much power. drawing so much power. Yeah, so I just got to kind of keep grabbing these as, you know, things become available. And that'll kind of make everything just easier. And while I'm at it, let me throw some tin, throw some copper so I can get more belts. I don't really have any other bigger hoppers. This I'm going to leave here. I could grab these and reuse them elsewhere, but it makes more sense to kind of leave them as is. Plus, I'm going to need a ton of belts to automate the iron back over here. You know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I may need to make some guns. What does it take? Iron gear. Okay, so I'm going to have to hand feed before I can even think about automating over here, because I think we'll be at a depth that's low enough for Minox to start spawning. So if you don't know, Minox will eat the ore off of your belt and you won't get it. Plus, like a hive mind or no, I guess it's a hive mind will start to form elsewhere that will eventually just start encroaching on your base, right? So as you can see, I don't have a great super safe way down here. It's kind of just find the right spot to fall and hope that I don't die, right? Yeah. So definitely something I want to work on for the iron, because we're going to be hand feeding a lot, and I want to let's switch things to white. Whoops. And we can kind of throw some glow sticks down. You can see I've got quite a few things down there, and we've got quite a few ores down there. Figuring out how to build this lift is going to be very interesting, right? Make sure I don't fall. So our iron is right down there. So I don't know if I can reach it. Did I never? Oh, there it is. Nice. Okay, so I don't have to go all the way down. So that's really nice. That is, I think, a worm. That's like the bottom side of a worm that you can kind of see through there. So, you know, a little creepy. Let's see if I can get up here. Whoop, that was scary. Let's see. All right, cool. Yeah, you can see worms there. Want to eat you. They want to murder you, so there you go. There's the worms for those of you who've never seen them before. So we got some iron. Solely going to be used for iron gears. That's really the only use for it right now. And unfortunately, we've got to hand feed it into everything. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. I am still on the hunt for lithium. I haven't searched super hard, to be honest, but what's going on here? Yeah, so this is kind of the other thing. The miners are not the most efficient. Is this still working? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's working. But this is only doing 8 ore per minute, which is nothing. I wonder if we can get... see, the thing though is if we get more... If we make them more efficient, they're going to need more stuff. So again, iron. The two ways to make your extractors better are with motors and drill heads. And you can see the motor takes iron gears, which we don't have yet. Ooh, solar cell. I'll craft one of those. And open up my suit. Throw in the solar cell. This will make sure that I get more... My energy up here will recharge faster in the daylight. And we're doing permaday. I don't know. I don't know if you might have gleaned that, because if I'm going to be using solar and all that kind of stuff, it just makes it much easier. I think it'd be super cool to have just like a massive solar farm. And yeah, I want to kind of... I'm still going to have obviously like a resin farm, but it might not just be like a super resin farm. I don't know. A lot of things and a lot of designs are still kind of up in the air, because how things shape up in terms of where the resources are and how difficult they are to get and move around is going to determine kind of, you know, what we do in terms of technology and reliance on one technology versus another. And boom, first iron bars. Let me actually throw this here. I'll throw the ore, which I don't have there when I get it. How's this doing? Nice. We'll take it. We'll take it. You're missing copper wire. Well, have some copper. The thing about the basic conveyor belts is it's like one copper bar produces like 5 of these basic conveyor belts. So it chews through, or 10 or something, like something ridiculous. So this, you hardly ever have to fill up. These, you have to fill up quite a bit. So as you can see, obviously the next iteration is just to output straight from our smelters into the machines that need the materials, and then you have those automated. But we are not there yet, but we are working on it. So what do we need? We need iron gears, lightweight machine housings. I think this is just tin, yeah? So we'll throw that in there. We got any more? Okay, cool. So what is the ratio here? 5 per gear. Ugh. That kind of hurts, but we kind of need it. And I want to build this guy first. And that's just tin plates. So we can just throw that in there and we'll get plenty of tin plates. So this is going to be easy. This is going to be 25 iron gears, which is 125 bars, which is, what is that? 125 times 4? 250, 500. 500. So 5 trips down. Well, 4 now to get that thing. To get the ore. Charge lithium coils. That's the next thing we need to build. But this little lift is really going to help us for the manual collection of things. And ooh, actually, another thing that I did is I made some super construction paste grinders. Now, somebody brought up in the comments on the last video that to do the super, which I did know about this, over the regular construction paste grinder, because especially if you're doing like a coal, I'm not sure actually if it works for kind of any trash block, but if you're feeding it coal, it gives you 8 construction paste per coal that it grinds up. So very efficient, very easy way to just massively stock up on construction paste, which we're going to need because, you know, we're going to build the factory kind of out of the custom blocks, which actually we can kind of take a look and maybe plan this out. Grease cement looks good. Reinforced concrete wall is what we did for kind of the whole last season. So I want to maybe do something different, but I feel like I don't have all of the options. Are there more in here? Maybe it's something that I can research. Which, I mean, that's another thing too, the lab. We're going to have to get the lab set up at some point. I'm thinking about putting the lab maybe over here. Maybe over here or something. I'm not sure. The lab takes so much power, and this is going to be like our primary power source for quite a while. But, you know, always stuff to upgrade. Let's see here. Is there anything... aesthetics maybe? Spooky room. I'm just going to do that. Advanced room building. What does that give me? Okay, stuff I don't necessarily need right now. Okay, what else is there? Resin handling. Basic spider bot defenses. We might as well kind of get everything. Oh, wait, room aesthetics. What does that give me? Oh, here we go. More floors. I kind of like this one. Reinforced plate floor and the reinforced plated room wall. I like all 3 of these. So let's research that. And do I have to do anything in here? I mean, there's stuff that I can use. Oh, I do have to. That's fine. Let's get energy and logistics grommets. Let's get this room panel. The lights we can come back to. I'm not too concerned with that just yet. What is this? Room light reflector. I definitely want to try this out. I don't even know what that is. That's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, we will want these heist, or no, not the heist. Oh no, yeah, this is what it is. You put this on a storage hopper, and it'll just like beam the items to your inventory. So that's super useful with the construction paste, because I would just set up like one coal deposit into a series of construction paste grinders with a super heist on it, and then every so often I just walk by it and just get, you know, 6,000 like construction paste thrown into my inventory. So really nice to have. I think we're going to need a ton of construction paste because of course we are, right? And yeah, so I think I'm going to start manually grabbing all that iron so that we can kind of skip ahead to building this lift. So I will see you guys on the other side. All right, guys. So I've taken care of a few things. I've made quite a few trips to get iron, and as a result, I have 20 iron gear. So what I ended up doing is, if you look here, this just takes 10 plates just for the lift. So what I did is I went ahead and just grabbed 2 lifts. That way I didn't have to wait for all the iron to make the control module. That just essentially lets you control the up or down motion of the lift, which, if you don't know how the lifts work without the control module, you basically, when you walk up close to the lift will auto go to your height. So if you're walking up to it and it's down at in the ground level, it'll come up to where you are, and vice versa. If you come up to it when you're underground, it'll lower to where you are. So I just grabbed 2 of those because I needed 2 to cover the distance, because without this lift compressor, the lift has a max height of 64 meters. But what I am going to do is I have enough to make 2 motors. In fact, I think I have, there we go. I have enough wire to make 3 motors. So what I want to do is, because I want these to be more efficient, I am going to, now this will take more power, but you know, it's worth it. I'm going to come down here and slap a motor on there. So now we've doubled the ore per minute, which will be kind of nice. And it still takes less than 1 power per second. So I think we'll be okay in that regard. And I'm going to do that over here. Slap that motor in there. And the last one we need to go get is the iron. So I can kind of show you guys how I got the iron all set up. Now, you might notice that I've got this kind of tunnel down here. And there's a very specific reason for that, because right over here is that worm. If I kind of get over here, you'll see it pop up. No? Nothing? Hello? Are you serious? Well, there was a worm here that was kind of damaging me. You can see my health is quite low. It was damaging me every time I kind of went down there. So what I did is I just kind of went down here to avoid the worm at all. And you can see that the lift is right here at this level. So I'm just going to hop on it. It's going to take me down. And I'm going to get on the next one, and it's going to take me down. Nice little tooltips on there. It kind of tells you like what's going on. And from here, I can just see the drill, and I can just grab the iron ore when it's ready. And when I'm good to go, I just jump right back on, and it'll bring me all the way up to as high as it can go. I'm running out of power because it's consistently giving me life back. So we'll go back to the surface. And that's it. That's kind of the lift system for the iron. Now we won't, well, I mean, we will use this just to kind of get down into that bottom layer when we go to search for lithium, because we do need lithium. That's kind of the next thing on the agenda, is locate a source of lithium and automate the iron. And to automate the iron, we are going to need some turrets, which is also going to mean that we're going to need, looks like I can do 1, which also means we're going to need power storage blocks and maybe even lasers. I don't know. We'll kind of see how that all works out. But that's all I think going to be in the next episode. So not too bad progress. You know, we kind of got this set up, which is honestly going to be huge. I'm just going to have to keep constantly checking these. But because now I have a faster way of getting iron, I think we can get these 100 slot hoppers much faster. So, I mean, it's still a lot, and I still have to hand feed. In fact, I threw some copper ore I had in here. Are you empty? Nice. So I can at least throw that iron ore in there. That'll give me 25 bars, which is 5 gears. So there is actually a gear maker. Maybe I can do that real quick. Where is the iron gear maker? Copper wire. Do I have copper wire? Yes. I'm actually going to do that because that is much more efficient. Iron plates into iron gear. So we're going to need a stamper plant and an iron gear maker. And then what we can do is we can just kind of slap down. Let's do it over here. We'll kind of slap down something that's just like this. All right. So remove only. Add only, remove only. We'll slap a stamper down, and then we will slap a gear maker wherever it is, right there. And so now I don't have any iron bars. What does this need? Okay, so it's 1-to-1. So this is much faster, actually. So now, I'll just grab the 1 iron bar, throw it in there. And if you guys don't remember, if I'm making these by hand, 5 iron bars for 1 gear. This is 1-to-1. Boom. Another iron gear. So I only need 10 bars to make a new hopper. And then kind of that'll be the next thing, is to upgrade these to bigger hoppers on both sides. And yeah, just kind of, that's kind of just the name of this game, is incremental progress here and there. Everything you automate allows you to upgrade other things to be more efficient and faster. So, the next thing is going to be getting all that iron to come up here and maybe smelt. Or maybe, I mean, I don't know. If I can figure out a way, maybe I can use this face and transmit power over here or something. I can make the distance travel for the iron less and kind of smelt it over here or something. Kind of out of the way still, and I'm still hand feeding things, but it's kind of the first step in automation until we can kind of designate, really until we can get a bigger power generation source. So really we're kind of soft locked behind lithium, which means lithium's going to kind of have to be a huge priority in the next episode. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Again, we got this, we got these automated, we got them smelting, we got all these machines going up, and we got a lift system over there for our iron, which is going to make collecting that a lot easier. So, and with all that said and done, we'll see you in the next one.